Hello everyone, welcome to Cornflower Crafts. I'm Corn, that's my nickname. And I'm working on these altered playing cards. And I just love to play cards. And so I wanted to see the cards. You know what I mean? I didn't want to cover them completely because that would upset me. I wanted I wanted as much, I definitely wanted two corners, so you could see Queen of Hearts, King of Diamonds, Six of Diamonds, and Two of Hearts. I wanted that definitely seen. So even though this is Words for Wednesday, it's kind of like a project share, an ongoing project share, I guess we should say. And what I had done is I just put gesso on them. You know, this is not my idea, that altered playing cards have, boy, I know that years, I saw one 4 years ago because, again, when it comes to mixed media, I'm not all the way sure of what is working over what. Do you know what I mean? And it seems like, I'll tell you, the more tutorials and videos I watch, it seems like gesso is the key. When in doubt, gesso. You know what I mean? That's what it seems. So what I had done was put gesso over my cards, and these are ones from Dollar Tree. This is take 3, so if I mess up, I apologize. I'm gonna try to not to get a glare on this. I got these before the pandemic at Dollar Tree, and they're very pretty and very slick, as you know. So slick surfaces to me mean sandy. They always have. Not only in paper crafting, but in the house and everything. A slick surface, sand it. Even when the primer says you don't have to sand it, and then you take your fingernail, not hard, and it comes off, and you're like, yeah, I do have to sand it. And that's what happened here. I had put gesso front and back, and they're in the deck there, because when I flipped them over, my fingernail did catch it, and yeah, the gesso came off, and I was like, oh no, I want everything to stay put. Now, there's a lot of people out there that do not see any reasoning at all to use sandpaper, but I did. And I also created just a tiny bit of texture with it. That's all of a piece of sandpaper I use. I personally do not know the grit on this because it's not on it. But I not only went side to side, but up and down. So it, it created just a little bit, depending on how rough you get, which you don't have to get too rough. Then I went ahead and took my, these are my shop towels, which I don't know where I'd be without them. Handsome knows that I use them a great deal. They're see how I do recycle them? These are the ones that when I have my stencils and I have to wash them, I dry them with these. And so it's just wet, just water. Excuse me. And since it's just water, I go ahead and put them over the neck of my lamp, dry them off, and then cut them up and use them that way. But I do recycle them. But I can't recycle them over and over and over because they really get used. So you just wipe them off with a shop towel, which takes the little dust, dust, quote unquote, off of them. And then I put my gesso on, and I put it on with a palette knife. You can get these. This is a flimsy one. I have metal ones that I've had for like 50 years almost. I have these also, which are low Cornell. And you see everything has splatter on it. That happened this morning for the first time. Oh, let me go back, and then we'll talk about splatter. So you can put, as you all already know, you can put your gesso on with anything. You can put it on with a sponge. That's a cool texture. But like I really want these cards to show through. I want you to see that they're cards. So I took mine and put it on thinly. This is just thinly with my palette knife, and especially when it came to the corners, you know, that had the K and the hearts or diamonds. But I did want to cover them up just a little bit because I wanted to tone down that red, you know, and try to make it look like a dark pink. So you can do little, I have a ridge or two, you can do little ridges, you can even make little grid marks, you can do peaks, you can do so much just with this, you know, and your gesso. So after that, I put on the Tim Holtz. He's so cute. Yes, if you're new to my channel, I know he loves his husband very much, but I just think he's so cute and such a gifted human being. I can't resist not saying he's so cute. So I don't mean to offend anyone, but I just think he's a cutie pie. And I love how he's so kind to everybody. You know what I mean? If you watch his lives, he's very kind. And, you know, the comments are going, you know, super, super fast. And when he's not working on something, he really does try to say, well, yes, well, I know that question well, or what. It's like, how do you even see that? You can see my splatters on this as well. Look at that. It just went everywhere. So after, like I said, we've been sanded, cleaned off, gessoed, and then I put the Distress Collage medium. Now, I did want to show you guys while you're here. And first, you know, thank you guys so much for being here, because long videos aren't fascinating. And if they're a little bit fascinating, if it's not all talking and actually showing you, this is me doing this. But a lot of you know, with my eyesight, a lot of this stuff gets, you know, gets out of view. You don't get to see it. And then I've been called down for that before. I do the best I can with what I can. So, you know, either that or you're going to see the top of my head. I don't know about y'all, but that's not too fascinating. So I also want to show you guys, those of you all who are in love with vintage. You know, this is matte. You can also get gloss, you know, but it's clear. But check this out, guys, and I've never used it yet. And I forgot I had it. This is how long I've been telling myself, you're going to get into mixed media, woman. And me going, I'm scared. I don't want to. And what I was scared of is you're going along, you do layer after layer, you're happy, you're content, and then something goes wrong. And that did happen here. We'll talk about that later. So, well, I thought I'd show y'all because I did open it. I was like, ooh. And look, I got just a teeny tiny one. Oh, I didn't open it. Look. I guess we've got to stir it. Looks like we do. Look at that. Isn't that going to be gorgeous on vintage goodies? Oh. Now, I've seen Tim do... Mr. Holtz, I guess I should say, but I have seen him. He'd say Tim. I've seen Tim do this on a live. I don't get to see his lives much, but when I do, it's fascinating. But of course, when he does it, you know what I mean? Boom, boom, like it's nothing, because he created it. It gives a vintage tinge, but it's not heavy-duty vintage. It's not grungy, but you do get that tinge. So hopefully I'll be working with this in the near future, hopefully. But I wanted to leave that out. So this went on it, and then right after that went on it, this is just regular old tissue paper for gift wrapping. And a lot of y'all, if you get if you win one of my giveaways, or you get a rack or something from me, you will get everything wrapped in this. So it's not like I don't have a massive amount of tissue paper. So the collage medium's on there, just waiting for something to go on. Now, you can put it on and deliberately create creases and, you know, bubbles. Most of us, some people, and mixed media, don't give a rat's behind about bubbles in that. I do, because it's not adhered to the card or the base. I don't want bubbles in mine. So, but I did want these creases, and I do have a couple. I'm going to have to get them as close as I can to the camera. I don't know if you're seeing this crease here. It's not a big one, but because I kept smoothing things out, but I was able, there's a crease under this texture paste right here and a crease here and here. I don't know if that's showing up, but I love them. I think they're gorgeous, personally. So, or if you don't like them, if you're like, ew, just put it down. And everybody has, you guys, I'm sure too, everybody's got their own system for putting down delicate paper, you know, on anything else, cardstock or anything else. You know, you might work from the center out, top, bottom, you know, everybody's got a system, and I'm no different. So the cool thing is, I had them, and I had torn them larger pieces, and then I cut them out, and that's another great thing to do. Let's say your collage medium's down, and you're doing this, and that's down. You've smoothed that down, and then you put a little bit more on, and you're doing this, and you put a little bit more on, and you're doing this. You can imagine the variations in color of pink you're going to get. But again, I didn't want to, I'm going to do that in the future because it just looks like so much fun. But again, I wanted these cards to shine through. So I put that on. Now, what most people do after that is they put a layer of the Distress Collage Medium on top of that. For some reason, I didn't. I don't know if it was because it was late or what. I wasn't thinking about it. I was all excited because I had pulled so many stencils. I was all excited about getting into that texture paste. I was like, oh yeah, let's go for it. And I'm always trying to find smaller stencils for little things like this. This crown, believe it or not, that stencil is from Dollar Tree. This is, I ordered online, I think, the bows. This one is, where is that? I've got it here still. I have to go, oh yeah, now this one, okay, the bows, that's Echo Park. That's what that one is. And then that gorgeous rose, though, is, where is it? I put everything, I don't think I put that back. Anyway, it's a Griffin. Griffin is her last name. Martha Griffin? Is that it? Griffin, last name. And you know everything she does is elegant. And that stencil is gorgeous. That stencil is absolutely beautiful, and it looks, and the stencil itself is so much thicker than any of these other stencils. One thing I learned, if you have little teeny tiny, now see, these teeny tiny pieces of the stencil to make the bow look gathered. As you see, sometimes that texture paste is, oh, that's fine, like this one. And then sometimes says, no, they're coming up. Not much I could do with that one unless these are completely dry. You know, your paste is completely dry. And then you put the stencil back over exactly how you had it and correct it. Again, this is my second attempt, so I'm learning. With this one, this gorgeous, gorgeous rose, I pull it up because I put it on thicker, you can see, thicker than anything else. I was like a rose. Ooh, I put it on super thick, and what happened was everything was fine until this one little piece right here, this one little petal, and it literally, you know, you take it off gently, and it literally came off with the stencil. And I was like, no, and nothing I did with the texture paste fixed it. So I was like, fine, I will paint it. Because remember, you can put paint and color your texture paint, texture paste with paint. You can, with acrylic paint. You can put it in there, color it, and use it that way, which is easier. Me, not knowing what I wanted to keep white, what I wanted pink, which I should have just done the pink, or what I wanted green, like I said, or what I wanted white. No, I didn't do that. So here I am. Let me see if I can get this. Nope, that's the wrong one. Here I am with this brush. And let's see what number it is. It's a number 10 over C. Okay. So here I am putting this into, oh, I had to make this color. I combined, no, was it Touch of Pink? Cameo Pink with, I think it was Baby Pink. Here it is. I had to make it. And because, well, there's a reason that this, like I said, these, or if I didn't say, I probably said it in a previous video attempt. These will go, maybe not all of them, but I have a project. And I need more of, it's going to be lots of pinks, but it's going to have some with a touch of peach in that pink, okay? So here I am, just each little teeny thing on the top, and then I have to turn the card every which way to try to get around that texture. And yes, does it after a while get on your patience? Sure, but to the point where if you're painting, let's say I'm painting this green, and this green is Jamaican Sea, and then over top of that for little highlights is this Pearl Martha Stewart in Aquarium. So, and the stems I left in that pearlized. So, you know what I mean? Yes, does it take a bit of time? But like I said, I didn't know how much I'd use of pink. I don't want to waste it. Let's just put it that way. I don't want to waste it. Because I know, I don't know, but I think I'm going to be using it a lot. So, when this came up, I was like, okay. And I went ahead and I did paint the petal here. It got painted, it got highlighted. See, these have highlights too. That's when you make that color, which is already dried up because it's acrylic and it's very warm here. That's when you just take this, you put your white with it and just add a little at a time till you get what you want. Painted it, and then lo and behold, I don't like it. I mean, it matched everything, but this is texture, 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 boop. So I had this piece of lace in my box of, I call it my box of castaways because it's just things I didn't use from other projects. And it's a little bit of everything, lace and bling and paper and, you know, a little bit of everything. Does this bother me that this piece of lace doesn't go all the way to here? Yes, but guess what? I don't have to fret because that goes there. And would you know if I didn't tell you that this has a boo-boo? I personally wouldn't. I don't know, maybe you all would. Maybe you all would touch it and say, okay, it's raised here and not right there. I'm not sure. But like I said, I attempted to paint in the petal, but it just wasn't working when you have these sitting up so high. When it comes to tiny bling, I kept looking and looking, and I ended up, let me see, where did I put that stuff? Oh, I've got it all over the desk, y'all. I ended up taking them from this. And look at this. I got this in January of 2017, y'all, at Tuesday morning. I wanted the pink diamonds, so I took them from there. I'll use the other bling on other stuff. I just wanted them because I wanted diamonds on here. And I was thinking about a heart on here, but I ended up putting a heart on the 2 of hearts. A little heart bling. And it's not on there yet. That's just sitting there because I will go ahead and the lace will go like that. But I'll cut off this piece and this. This is a little... This is part of a sheet that was in the Shabby Chic line that used to be sold by Target. I don't know if it still does or not. I don't go to Target anymore. But I wanted to find a little something to put here that you would still see the roses. And this might hang off the card a little bit, and I think I like that. But see, you get to still see those roses. So I place that, you can just tear it, you know, because it's 100% cotton. Then this piece of fabric that I went around it with some pinking shears that I've had for decades. And this piece, believe it or not, I got at a thrift store that, oh, who's the designer? I've been saying his name all morning. Hoot. He's real respected too. Oh well, a very respected designer who charges tons of money for his stuff. This is a sheet that I got at a thrift store and brought home and washed again, and then started ripping it up. So these two also have, the gems are down, but on this one, but they're not, these guys aren't. They also have paper doilies in the corner, okay? This is a fussy cut rose from the House of Roses in Stamperia. Again, when I tore them, I didn't tear them to the point, or even cut them to the point where I could cut them off. This just ends here. Normally that would drive me nuts, but with the mixed media, you kind of find yourself going, maybe if I put this here, it's not as noticeable. Plus, if it's noticeable, what's the big deal? Then these little gems are put on with gem tack, which I swear by. And who told all of us about this was Heather from Gypsy Journal Crafts. Oh no. Heather, if I got it wrong, honey, I am so sorry. Because she's a crafter. Gypsy Journal Crafter. She's wonderful, by the way. If you do not know her, please go by. I'll put her in the description box. She is wonderful. When you get older, sometimes that happens. And I apologize. I don't know why I'm laughing, because I'm a little upset about that, because she is wonderful and I think extremely highly of her. So she's told us, if you want something to stay put, to get that gem tack, which is what I did. So, and I had to fish through a lot of stuff to get these sizes of gems. You know what I mean? They didn't just come on one sheet like that. And then when I talked about that splatter going everywhere for the first time, I did see someone splatter with a fan brush. This is a number 4. And I guess I just went a little wild. I don't know. But it went up my arm. It went in on my glasses. It just went everywhere. And I was trying, you know what I mean? But, oh well. It does give you that effect that you want, though. It's just all over the place. That has The King of Diamonds has this, has a little bit of the torn doily as well. And this piece does have, I did do the collage medium over it. Once it hit me, you better do that. So this stencil is just nothing but bows. So I left some of them white. I didn't even paint them white. I left them that way so that you could see. It's a little bit see-through, but not a lot. And so you could see a little bit of the card there. And I just put it in the middle. And then, like I said, what this piece is. And then I did make this tiny little envelope. This time I closed it. And of course it's inked around with Kitsch Flamingo. And then for my little seal, there's a bow punch that I got, boy, this is probably 4 or 5 years old, from Tuesday Morning. And normally I have them open. I have a little piece of card in there for me or someone else to write on, but I was like, no, I want it just to be purely an embellishment. So, little velvet ribbon here. You all saw my diamonds, a little bit of lace that I fussy cut. I fussy cut this lace all the time. And I already did that. So, and pearlized splatter. I think I said that. Martha Stewart's pearlized white splatter. That's what I'm working on, you guys. This mixed medium is fun. It is. But if you're used to, if you're somebody like me that is used to having things just so when you create something, you don't have to be that way in the rest of your life, but when you're creating something, that's a part of you, I've always thought. At least it is for me. And I want it to be just so. Is it going to be perfect? No. But am I going to get it the best that I can get it before it leaves my home? Or even if it stays in my home? I'm gonna try. And so when, like a boo-boo like that, when a mistake happens, my first instinct is, no! Because, you know, so much time and effort went into the very beginning of it, you know. So but when it comes to mixed media, as you see, you can cover it up, or you can put another layer on, or you can put paint on, or you can, you know, there are solutions that you can keep doing and keep going. And a lot of people have said that mixed media, they feel, is very freeing. And I can understand that they would feel this is a freeing way to create art. I understand that. But someone like me has to keep slowly going into it till maybe, you know, you'll see me in a room one day and I'm working on a huge canvas and just having a blast. I don't know, because a huge canvas is very expensive. I don't think that's going to happen, but still. It could. You never know. I just want to thank you all for joining me. And if you've got time, if you're still here, could you please write in the comments what you're working on right now? A lot of times I already know, because I've already seen, because a lot of you know sometimes, a lot of times I visit, I don't leave a comment, but I always give you a thumbs up. I'm big on thumbs up, because that really does help a channel. It does. And, you know, if you want to help a channel out, and you don't want to send them anything, and you don't want to, what is it, there's this thing where you can even send them money and this kind of stuff. If you don't want to do anything like that, if you do give them a thumbs up, and if you do have time, put in a comment, it really helps those channels out a lot on YouTube. So just saying. So I would like to thank you all for being here. Oh my mercy, 30 minutes. And I hope you have a wonderful morning. afternoon, or evening. Bye-bye, everybody. Take good care.